kids get chickenpox, most kids get over it. If they're unlucky, they might be left with a little scar here or there. But Natalya was left with something much worse. She became blind in one eye after blistering spread to her cornea. The doctor said nothing they could do, but her mum was having none of it. Despite being a single mum with 2 kids on her hands, she devoted herself to finding someone that would restore Natalya's sight. Jill Higgins with her determined fight.
Natalya was a normal little girl with normal sight, till chickenpox struck. This sort of rash is common, but in some rare cases, like hers, it spreads to the eye.
It was really aggressive. I mean, after a period of about a week, her eye had gone black.
So what did the doctors actually say to you at that time?
Well, we think that, she's got some form of conjunctivitis. And I said, well, I really don't think that that's the case. But of course, by that stage, it was just too late.
It's 3 years later, 3 years of battle with the medical profession.
You're being told by the rest of the medical science, well, I'm sorry, she'll have to live with that for the rest of her life.
She wouldn't accept that. So she turned to the internet and tracked down the best eye specialists in the world. But no doctor was quite right.
I was in this kind of vortex of liabilities, money, no real way to see through. And then, this friend of mine said to me, go and see Charles. He's an academic, he's a person of research, and he's also willing to go outside the square.
Now look up for me.
Auckland-based Charles McGee said yes.
So other doctors were saying they couldn't do anything for Natalya. Why did you say you could?
I was convinced that Mum was really committed. I was convinced that Natalya, although she was young, she really wanted something done. In her case, there's a real chance it wouldn't work. And I think a lot of surgeons will, well, I'm not, the glass is half empty, I'm not going to do that.
She needed her scarred cornea replaced, an incredibly rare operation for a girl this young.
I kept thinking, well, if she is the first, then, I'm going to be the mother that's going to make that happen.
It involves very delicate tissue. This cornea from a donor will be a new window for Natalya's eye.
In Natalya's case, we cut a piece that was about 8 millimetres across, and we then tailored it to fit into her cornea, so it took better.
So it was quite a delicate operation, sort of shaving it and...
It was, and preparing her tissue was actually much more difficult because she had a small eye and a really deep scar, so the amount of tissue we left in her eye was like 1 hairbreadth of her own tissue, and then this transplant on top of it. I was worried it might not go well. I thought probably we would make her better off, but I didn't know how much better we would make her.
It worked really well. Natalya effectively has a new eye, but just like a newborn, she has to learn how to use it.
You fill in the eyes and the nose and you make nice here.
It's called patching, covering her good eye, using the one that isn't yet up to scratch.
One's blue and one's not, but I can see colours.
She's got a 6-month-old eye, and it must be very frustrating for her. I think this is why her glasses move around a lot, because she's just checking to make sure that she's doing it right.
Just look towards me a little bit.
She also needs her stitches removed, one single stitch at a time.
Okay, now I'm just going to pull very gently.
I had 16. They're taking them out, so now I've got 13.
I have never had a 6-year-old child who would sit at a microscope with someone she only knows a little who'd bring a needle up to her eye and a forceps up to her eye and let me cut that stitch.
And when my first one came out, I was thinking that my cornea might have came out.
And you are, once more, the bravest girl I know.
We've got a really big success story here, and Charles was the one that was willing to go where others weren't willing to go.
Sure.
And you must be really thankful to Charles for taking this on.
I have a sort of a speechless, depth of respect for what he's done for us.
Down for me?
I think if it wasn't for him, I don't know what would have been happening in our world.
Put my full age on there, 15.
No, I was sorry.
No.
He's really nice, and Mum thinks that he's like a dad to us.
You're very good at this, aren't you?
I will be thanking him for the rest of my life.
Never tell a mum it can't be done. After the break, the Kiwi